There is so much to see in Japan, and in every trip, it always feels like you haven't seen enough. This was our third trip to Japan, and save from Tokyo, this was our first time visiting destinations in the central region of the country. It took us a couple of months of planning, and we're happy to share with you our itinerary. This itinerary is a good mix of city travel, spending time in nature, and also visiting one of Japan's wondrous architectural and heritage sites. This video includes some information on how we did this multi-destination trip, and we're glad that Japan has an amazing train and bus system that would make transport quite easy and convenient. For an overview, we started in Tokyo and then to the Kiso Valley to walk the Nakasendo. From there, we made our way to Takayama, visited Shirakawago, and then moved to the onsen towns of Okuhida to check out the Shinhotaka Ropeway. From there, we took the bus back to Tokyo. We visited in early December, so we hope that this will inspire you if you are planning to check out Japan before high winter. So, let's get started. After passing through the usual checkpoints, we purchased our round-trip Narita Express tickets for Tokyo at the machines. There is a discounted round-trip rate for foreign passport holders, so have your passports ready when making this purchase. We would be spending the night in Tokyo on the first day before taking the Shinkansen the next day. We were meeting friends and colleagues in the evening, so we decided to have a slow afternoon but still check out one of Tokyo's must-visit spots. Located right beside the Shibuya station, Shibuya Sky is a 360-degree observatory where you can have an amazing view of the Tokyo skyline. The roof deck has a bar as well as many areas for perfect photo opportunities. Shibuya Sky is amazing at night, but apparently you can have a chance at seeing Mount Fuji on a really clear day. Now that we are in Shibuya, who wouldn't want to cross the crossing? From Tokyo, we started making our way to our first destination in central Japan, Tsumago in the Kiso Valley. We chose to take the Shinkansen to Nagoya and then take another train to Nagano Prefecture. From the Giso, there is a bus to Tsumago. Since we had time before the next bus arrives, we decided to check out another site which is just a few minutes walk from the Giso station. The Momosuke Bridge, or the Momosuke Bashi, is a wooden suspension bridge and is the longest of its kind in Japan. It spans 247 meters over the Kiso River with its banks lined with beautiful white rocks. We were only in the area for less than an hour, but the Giso felt like it had something more to offer. Now time to get to Tsumago, our destination. Our plan was to hike the portion of the Nakasendo from Magome to Tsumago. We chose Tsumago because it's smaller and quieter, but you'll see on the next day that Magome is also a great base for hiking the Nakasendo. As expected, this Minshuku or Japanese bed and breakfast is charming and the meals are superb.
So we're here at Tsumago. We actually arrived yesterday, but because it was a full day of travel, we just rested in the afternoon, and today we are going to do the hike from Magome to Tsumago. So we're taking the bus at, what's the time?
10:17.
Magome, also known as Magome Juku, is one of the many post towns that line the Nakasendo Trail. There were 69 post towns along this trail, and few remain preserved. Magome and Tsumago are two examples. The Nakasendo is an Edo period trail connecting Kyoto and Edo, which is now known as Tokyo. The old highway spans around 534 kilometers or 332 miles and goes through the central mountains of Japan. The portion of the Nakasendo on the Kiso Valley, particularly the one between Magome and Tsumago, is a popular hiking trail through forests and charming settlements. This trail gives us a glimpse of a traveler's journey in Japan during the Edo period. The trail runs for almost 8 kilometers, and depending on how you like your walks, the hike can be finished in more or less 3 hours.
For luck and more travels.
What makes the Nakasendo quite fun is the presence of bear bells along the way. Though of course, this also means that bears are around. This is the Tateba Tea House. This structure has long served travelers on the Nakasendo, and it preserves the tradition by serving tea to visitors and hikers. The Nakasendo is definitely worth a hike. It is also worth staying here for the night or for 2 nights and experience the hospitality and the delightful meals that ryokan and Japanese bed and breakfast serve. It takes some effort to get to Kiso Valley, but this trip gives another layer to an amazing adventure in Japan.
I really like this forest.
On the 4th day, it's time to change cities. This time, from Tsumago in Nagano Prefecture, we are heading to Takayama City in Gifu Prefecture. It's the same train ride, which means riding the Shinano Limited Express and then getting off in Nagoya. After retrieving our suitcase, it's time to take the Hida Limited Express from Nagoya to Takayama. This train ride takes more than 2 hours. On this day, the plan was just to check out Takayama. Takayama would serve as the base for our trip the next day. Now we need to book or reserve tickets for our Shirakawa-go trip tomorrow. So we're going to the bus station and then we'll let you know if we were able to get seats.
We have to get seats.
We will get seats for tomorrow.
We have no choice.
The Takayama station is just right beside the bus station. It is a great idea to purchase tickets in advance. From the bus station, let's now walk to the old town in Takayama. Takayama is also referred to as the Little Kyoto of the Japanese Alps. Similar to Kyoto, and of course similar to the post towns we visited in Kiso Valley, Takayama has well-preserved wooden structures that define Japan's heritage. One of the culinary specialties in this region is Hida beef. If you're into this kind of cuisine, it is also worth getting a table at a local restaurant. Now it's time to have a good rest since we have a full day tomorrow. Good morning, it's 9 in the morning here in Takayama and we're now heading to the bus station. We are going to visit Shirakawago. I think it's starting to drizzle, but hopefully when we get there, the weather is better. The weather's not looking good, but we carry on. Shirakawago is definitely a top destination if you are planning to visit central Japan. Located in Gifu Prefecture, this settlement, along with Gokayama, is known for these gassho-style houses. The pitch of the roofs of these houses resemble hands in prayer, which is what the Japanese word gassho means. This is Ogimachi, the most popular village in Shirakawago where most tourists visit. It's a huge community where people live, but you can also find nice cafes, shrines, temples, and even gassho-style houses that offer accommodations. So be prepared for a lot of walking, good food, and taking a lot of photos. You can also tour a house which is open to the public. Let's have a look at the Kanda house. This house was built in the 19th century and still has features that are unique to these types of Japanese homes. You have to admit, the architecture and the engineering are amazing. Since these houses are made of flammable materials, the community has put in place fire safety measures. Visitors can have an amazing view of Ogemachi village. You can walk up to the view deck, or you can take a bus located near the Wada house. Shirakawago is only an hour away from Takayama and makes a perfect day trip.
This was our last day in Takayama, and this time we were heading to the onsen villages in the Okuhida area. But we had one particular destination in mind, the Shinhotaka Ropeway. However, a note of advice, especially if you're relying on bus transportation in these parts.
So we're here at Shinhotaka Gucci. This is the location of our hotel. It's we can't check in yet because it's too early. So we're heading to the ropeway, to Shinhotaka Ropeway. The thing with this town though is that buses only come by every hour. So one bus every hour, there are no taxis. So we have no choice but to wait for the next bus, which will arrive in 30 minutes?
The bus takes visitors to the Shinhotaka Ropeway station, and then from there are 2 ropeway rides until you arrive at the final station. With the right timing, you can experience snow during early winter. The Shinhotaka Ropeway is also a must, especially if you want to get closer to the northern Japanese Alps. With the surrounding northern Japanese Alps, the Shinhotaka Ropeway gives visitors a glimpse of stunning mountain views. The Shinhotaka Ropeway gives access to other mountain trails that can take hikers farther into the mountains, such as this trail that can take you as far as Kamikochi in Nagano Prefecture. All stations at the Shinhotaka Ropeway has cafes and shops, so in wintertime, a cup of hot cocoa is a great option. Now here is our ryokan located in the Shinhotaka Onsen Gucci station. The ryokan has indoor and outdoor hot spring baths, and they are open 24 hours. You can check out photos of their onsens in booking sites, and I assure you, they live up to the expectations. And speaking of expectations, the meals are a delight.
After 6 days in central Japan, it's time to head back to the capital. There are buses from Hirayu Onsen that go straight to Shinjuku. In fact, these buses come all the way from Takayama. So another option is to ride a bus from Tokyo to this side of Gifu Prefecture. However, this bus ride takes almost 5 hours. If you're coming from Takayama, it will take around 6 hours.
をお支度をしてお待ちください。
Please make sure you have all your belongings with you when getting off. We'd like to thank you for riding the Keio Highway bus.
Finally, signs that we are now in Tokyo.
カーテンなどお席周りでお使いになりましたもの。
After checking in and leaving our luggage, it's time to roam around Shinjuku. Shinjuku is one of the major destinations in Tokyo, primarily for shopping, eating, and entertainment. Aside from shopping, you can also find money changers and travel agencies in Shinjuku. There is a place in Shinjuku called Omoide Yokocho, which is a narrow alley lined with small izakayas and restaurants. From Shinjuku, we rode a train to Ginza. Ginza is another major shopping destination in Japan. Most of the luxury shops and flagship stores can be found here. Ginza is also not too far from the area around Tokyo Station. We discovered this alleyway that would take us near the Yesu area of the Tokyo Station. It might feel like a shock coming from the mountains and all that nature and then suddenly finding yourself in the middle of all these neon lights. But here in Japan, you know that these are all part of its glorious package.
Oops.
This was our third trip to Tokyo, so the plan for this day is to go to places we haven't been to before. First stop, the Hiya Jinja or the Hiya Shrine in Chiyoda City. It's only a few minutes away from the Tokyo Station. It's amazing that a spot like this exists in Tokyo, especially with the tall buildings and modern developments around. What makes Hiya Jinja also special, of course, is the Inari Sando, which is a series of red torii gates similar to Fushimi Inari in Kyoto. Due to the increasing popularity, many tourists are now visiting Hiya Jinja. Although it is expected, it is also expected that visitors will behave in shrine grounds, especially in areas that are considered sacred. Not too far from Hiya Jinja is the Akasaka area. The atmosphere around Akasaka Station felt like a younger and hipper version of Ginza, but perhaps this can be attributed to this. This Harry Potter Plaza near the Akasaka Station was opened in 2022, and as of spring in 2023, it was still open. In Akasaka, you can find cafes and shops related to the Harry Potter universe, but as many in-demand things, the cafe requires reservations to book a table. If you missed out on the reservations, you can check out Tully's coffee shop across the street and see if they still have Harry Potter-inspired drinks.
Here we go. Chore.
From Akasaka, we made a brief stop to one of our favorite spots in Tokyo. The Sensoji Temple in Asakusa is probably the busiest spot in the city. The Nakamisidori is lined with shops that cater to many tourists' needs such as kimono rentals, food, and of course, souvenirs. But a visit to Sensoji is not complete without paying our respects to the deities. And of course, by reading our lucks through Omikuji.
Okay, so look for that number. That one. Tapos babalik mo siya dito. It's not so bad, no?
Another reason we wanted to go to Asakusa is to have a short stroll along the Sumida River, which is just a few hundred meters away on foot. And just on the other side of the temple complex is the Onigiri Asakusa Yadoroku, Tokyo's oldest onigiri shop and also part of the Michelin Guide Gourmand list. It's amazing that they've already run out of onigiri right after lunch. From Asakusa, there were 2 destinations on the itinerary. Let's start with the one that restricted cameras. In Roppongi Hills, you will find the Mori Arts Museum and Mori Arts Center Gallery. During our visit in December 2022, there was an exhibit featuring the works of one of Japan's famous mangaka, Yoshihiro Togashi. Anyway, while in Tokyo, it is always a great idea to check out what kind of events are happening during your visit. On to the next destination. If you missed the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, like we did, you can have that bit of experience by signing up for the Japan National Stadium Tour. Not only will get to step inside the stadium and its facilities, the tour also offers interactive experiences. This tour in the National Stadium might run until March 2024 only, so please check online for any updates. For our last day in Tokyo, we wanted to visit the usual spots. But first, we also wanted to check out this district in Shibuya. This white building has become Takayama's landmark. It houses the Tsutaya bookshop, but when you go inside the complex, you can find other services such as restaurants and cafes. It is a pet-friendly establishment too. Takayama is actually part of Shibuya, so a few train stops away takes us to one of the most famous shrines in Tokyo. The forested grounds of the Meiji Shrine makes this side of Tokyo an ideal place for a nice stroll. Not too far from Meiji Shrine is Harajuku, but instead of exploring Takeshita Street, we thought of beating the crowds and try revolving sushi. Kura Sushi is another well-known revolving sushi chains in Japan. It's a pretty convenient way to enjoy sushi. The prices are reasonable, although it boggled us at first how to get a table. So there you have it. 9 full days in Japan. A really awesome itinerary that combines the comforts of the city with significant time in nature and outdoors, as well as heritage and well-preserved communities. What do you think?
The picture speaks for itself. The video pala speaks for itself. Look at that. So beautiful.
Here's a transportation tip. It is really worth getting a Japan Rail Pass for long-distance travel, but please keep in mind that they are only valid on JR trains, some Shinkansen, and also some JR buses.
Hi!
Thank you for watching this video, and we hope that this video will give you ideas for your next visit to Japan. Watch out for more upcoming travel-related videos and other stories. There are dedicated videos on the destinations in this video. You can find a link to the playlist at the end of the video. And as always, we would very much appreciate your subscription to our channel. Please check out and share away our other videos and hit the like and notification buttons.